So, one thing about wrestling that we as fans, long time, short term, whatever, hardcore, dedicated to one promotion or another, if there's one thing we as fans kind of get taken aback by, is the fact that one day, just out of the blue, one of our favorites in a company will suddenly decide they're done. Or they will come out of the blue on social media and say that their time has come to an end and that they are moving on. Well, yesterday, or this weekend at least, that could be said for Samantha Irvin. Samantha Irvin, in her short time with WWE, proved to be one of the best ring announcers I think that company has ever seen. I mean, you ask around, to anybody, and they will tell you that Samantha Irvin is top notch, if not one of the best in quite some time. I mean, heck, you hear how she announces for WWE 2K24. I mean, she has to stand in the ring or go into a recording booth, and she has to basically say all these different lines as if she's actually doing it for a live, actual WWE event or pay-per-view, PLE, if you will. And she puts a lot of emotion even into that, as if, again, she's doing it for a legit event. And, and here's the thing. No one can say anything more nicer about Samantha Irvin for what she has done for the company. I mean, they even let her, I think, during this year, they let her do the national anthem for one or two PLEs. And if that's not enough, she is proven to be multi-talented. She's proven to be multi-talented due to the fact that she appeared, I think, what was it, on America's Got Talent or something, and she was, she was playing the flute and she was very good. And then recently, she was, performing the national anthem at I think it was the Las Vegas Raiders game. So yeah, she is multifaceted in a lot of areas. So for a lot of fans of WWE and in general, overall wrestling fans, for her to come out and announce that she was leaving, it really surprised people. Now, there are some fans that would think, well, it was obvious that this moment was coming because Ricochet, her fiance, her husband, if you will, is in All Elite Wrestling, and she wants to join him, probably there. And if she does, that's fine, not a big deal. But the way it sounds to me, and I think anybody else, staying in wrestling, even though she has a love for it and always will, staying in wrestling is not on her mind right now. Because it sounds like to me, she wants to pursue the next, leg in her career, the next step in her career, and that's music. Because like I said, she's very talented at what she does when it comes to singing. She's a good singer. I mean, basically, you had a moment earlier this year, little did we know maybe the significance of this moment. We thought it was a passing of the torch officially between the two. We had a moment this year between her and LILLIAN GARCIA that, obviously is going to be a memory she's going to take with her forever. And a lot of people might say, a lot of people might say and compare her to being the next Howard Finkel, the female equivalent of Howard Finkel. And yeah, Howard Finkel was one of the best of all time. No denying that and no replacing him. But outside of that comparison, they also made a comparison by saying she is the next LILLIAN GARCIA. And that moment we saw earlier this year pretty much kind of, I guess in a lot of fans' eyes, had, LILLIAN put that seal of approval, that stamp of approval on Samantha being the one that's going to follow in her footsteps and take it to a whole new level. Well, obviously that's not the case for right now because she is stepping away. And again, like I said, little did we know the significance of that moment because yesterday it came out, and I was thinking about this too. I was thinking, well, if Samantha is going, who are they going to get? And the first thought to my mind was, they got to get Lillian. They have to get Lillian because outside of Samantha and Howard Finkel, Lillian is beloved by the entire WWE and overall wrestling fandom. And if you want any proof of that, go onto YouTube, go onto Twitter, aka X, go there, look up WWE.com, look up Lillian Garcia's, Twitter account, and you will see the reaction, the explosion, the pop that Lillian Garcia got in Philadelphia last night. Or 2 nights ago, I should say. I mean, you listen to that and not only the fans happy to see her, but with her coming out and saying that she is officially back full time. I mean, it's like you're losing one golden voice for another, but in the place of that golden voice that's leaving, you're getting the OG golden voice, if you will, that people were comparing her to outside of the comparison to Howard Finkel. So you go from having one golden voice that's multifaceted and talented to having another that was just like that before she came on board after her. If you kind of see what I'm saying. But look, Samantha Irvin leaving, to me, I read it like she's not going to, step away from wrestling entirely. But what it sounds like to me is she's basically planning, as I said earlier, to take that next step in her career. And that next step is to be a musician, to be a recording artist, to be a singer, to potentially go on tour and, maybe down the line win a Grammy, win an American Music Award and, an AMA or something like that, or, stuff like that. You get the idea. Maybe that's what she's planning to do, because again, you take what she said in her thank you, if you will. You take what she, how she worded what she said in her thank you, and it sounds like to me she's going to go that direction. It sounds to me. Now, I could be wrong. One thing that JD brought up, because he talked about this in a video, is Samantha could decide, hey, I want to be a mom. I want to stay home and be a mom. And if that's the case, fine. That's not an issue. If she wants to do that, fine. But the way she's doing it, one would have to respect her for it, because she realizes, hey, if she's going to be a mom, she can't be on the road all the time announcing. And over the months, if she remains on the road announcing, and she's getting, more in size with the pregnancy, she's going to have to leave anyway. She's going to have to take maternity leave, anyway, to, have her child, be with her child before she returns. So what better way for her to do, potentially that, than to gracefully bow out and say, hey, I had a good time, but I'm taking this next step in my life. And that might be the case as well. And again, if the other case is she wants to go to All Elite Wrestling and be with Ricochet, fine. There's no wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I know some people might say, well, when she goes to AEW and Tony Khan realizes what he has in her, could he try to make her and Ricochet the new Cody and Brandy for his company? Because I was thinking that too, the way Tony Khan is right now, desperate for, people to, watch his product and everything, you would have to think he is trying to find that next, elite power couple, that he once had with Cody and Brandy. You have to wonder if he's, you have to wonder if maybe he's thinking about, hey, if I can get my hands on Samantha Irvin and bring her in, I could try to make Ricochet and her that new version of Cody and Brandy. I could do that. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. But again, if she wants to do that, even outside of that, fine, not an issue. Not an issue. I mean, JD brought up the fact that AEW has Shockwave being shopped around still. So they need a voice. it's in ring. In ring is the ring announcer or commentating, and Samantha could bring that kind of a voice, that kind of difference, if you will, overall. She could do that. She can bring that to the table. But again, it's up to her. But the way it sounds like to me, my personal opinion, again, could be wrong. It sounds like to me she is going to go and basically try to start her recording career. Is what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. She wants to start her recording career, and she wants to basically, try to, make her first album and go on tour. And again, like I said, potentially win some awards, because that would be the goal. That's the goal, I should say, of any recording artist, to, win some rewards. That being, the American Music Awards, the AMAs, the Grammys, the People's Choice, Billboard, you name it. That's everybody's goal. So we'll have to see what she has in mind for her next journey in her career. But again, the way things sounded to me, the way she worded it, the way people like JD read it off, it feels like she is taking that next step towards, being a musician over being a ring announcer for WWE. Now, do I think she will be back down the line? Absolutely. I think she will be. I think, honestly, she's going to try this. She's going to take this journey, see what happens. And if she decides she wants to come back, she will. And I think, honestly, the reason she's doing this, is she's doing it for one major reason. She's doing it for one major reason, in my opinion. And that is, if she's not going to go to AEW to be Ricochet, I think she's doing this to wait for him to leave AEW and maybe go back to WWE, and then maybe she'll go back then. I mean, I'm not the only one that's going to. I'm not the only one thinking that. I'm not the only one thinking that. But it is something to really percolate in your mind as to, okay, why is she leaving now all of a sudden, and wanting to potentially take this step to be a recording artist and everything down the line. It's something to think about. It is something to think about. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you on this. And yeah, give me your thoughts on Samantha Irvin suddenly leaving WWE. And what do you think her next step is going to be? And do you think she might go to AEW to be a Ricochet? Or do you think she might just hold off until he comes, until he's out of AEW and possibly goes back to WWE, that she might go back there? Or do you think maybe she wants to be a mom? What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do you think she wants to be a recording artist? I think it sounds like that's the direction she's going to go. But let me know. Let me know, guys. And until then, I will talk to you later. But let me know what your thoughts are. And I am out.